morning, Gator Nation, and welcome to a very special episode of the In All Kinds of Weather Forecast. I am your host, Neil Schulman. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at All Kinds Weather and on Facebook and YouTube under the name In All Kinds of Weather. My co-host, Dustin Smith, is going to be with me today. He is racing home right now, trying to be a part of this episode, but he is currently stuck in traffic and having trouble connecting. But in the meantime, you can follow him at IAKOW Dustin. And most importantly of all, we've got a very special guest with us today. Current Florida Gator running back Lorenzo Lingard is here with us today to talk about the new energy in the building with the new Billy Napier regime, as well as his personal backstory and road to Florida, as well as what we can look forward to in the 2022 Gator football season. We've had quite a few former players on our show before, and it's always great to hear from some of the legends of Gator football history, but this is the first time we're going to have a current player on to talk with us and hear about what's actively going on behind the scenes. But before we get to that, as always, quick word about our sponsors/partners. We are proudly partnered with the Gator Good Foundation, the nonprofit organization that works to send an underprivileged Gator fan to the swamp. For those of y'all who are new listeners, the Gator Good Foundation collects donations from fans and uses those donations to bring someone to his or her first ever Florida Gator football game. We pay for flights, for rental cars, for hotels, game tickets, gear, and all kinds of swag, and just make sure that they have the swamp experience of a lifetime. We are looking for someone to send to the swamp in 2022. If you believe that you or someone you know is worthy of the honor, please reach out to us, gatorgoodfoundation@gmail.com. We are also looking for donations. To donate to our cause, please go to our website, gatorgoodfoundation.com, and click on the donate button. And while you're on the website, you can also look around and see some of the campaigns we've done in previous years to get a better feel for what it is exactly that we do. Second, we are proudly sponsored by Stingray Branding. These folks will put a sting in your marketing and deliver results that will wow your clients, whether it's web design, logo design, branding, graphic design, social media management, search engine optimization, marketing strategy, or mobile app design. Stingray Branding has you covered. If you or someone you know needs professional help in any of the above, we give y'all two great reasons why you should choose Stingray every show, and we'll give them to you again. One, it is a veteran-owned business. Can't possibly think of a better way to properly thank those who serve our country than by giving the business. And number two, it is run by a Florida Gator fan. So not only do they do great work, but they do great work and they're owned by a Florida Gator fan who happens to be a U.S. veteran. To learn more about their services and rates, go to stingraybranding.com. And with that said, it is time to bring on our special guest. Lorenzo Lingard was originally a five-star running back prospect out of Orange City, originally signed with the Miami Hurricanes. There were trials and tribulations, there were injuries, there was adversity. We'll talk about all that with him, but long story short, he decided to transfer out of Miami. He decided to transfer to the University of Florida, and now the Gators have another terrifying weapon in their backfield, and he is here to talk with us today about all of that, as well as talk about the new culture that Billy Napier has installed and what we should be looking forward to this season. So, Lorenzo, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, how are you? What's been going on these days with you? And how's the offseason been treating you so far?
I'm great, and the offseason's been pretty much smooth. You know, we just got it back working out, and yeah, so I'm good.
That's awesome, man. We're super excited to have you. We're super excited for the new era, the new tenure for Coach Napier. We have so many questions to ask you with that. First things first, though, you are here in part because of both of our connections with the Gator Collective. I think most of our listeners at least somewhat know about it right now, but for those who maybe don't know about the Gator Collective, can you tell us a little bit about what it means to you and how it is helping shape the Florida Gators for the future?
So what it means to me is they're an entity of of alumni and whatnot, and they have a group of people who invested their time, money, and connections into us. And the players, we all basically have connections to their connections. So pretty much if fans want to come and interact with us, they go through the Gator Collective and they set things up for us. So we had a meet and greet with fans and whatnot. So fans came, they had to pay a small fee. We got to interact with those people and, show them a good time. So, yeah.
FanFest, yes. So, fun fact: I actually work for the company that did the marketing for that. So,
Okay, yeah,
definitely,
right.
yeah. And I'm the guy that edits a lot of the spaces and the pods, like Ben Troop's 84 Reasons. Like I'm the one that puts those, turns them from audio into video that people can watch them on. So, and I'm on the Gator Collective Outreach team. So definitely super exciting.
Okay.
To have this connection really take form. So we like to start our interviews with guests with a quick segment called the lightning round, which is basically where we just set the stage for for who you are, why you're a Gator, and so on. So, and that's actually exactly the first question. So the first question is always the same. It's a little different for you because you came from Miami, but why did you leave Miami and why did you become a Florida Gator?
Well, I left Miami due to my dad's health issues and pretty much for my well-being. Being at Miami, things were just going downhill. I was putting in effort and I wasn't seeing as much return and whatnot. I was doing all I can, and I felt like the energy down there wasn't the best for me. So, and I don't want to put more stress on my dad with his kidney disease and whatnot. So I decided to make a move. It was either here, UCF, or Ohio State. And me knowing that the University of Florida was a tough school to be in, so me as being a competitor, I want to be the greatest. I said, okay, well, if I want to be the greatest and be amongst the best, I'm gonna come to Florida. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely some unique circumstances. In your case, you had an injury too at Miami that I know set you back a little bit. Definitely a different circumstance to come to Florida out of the transfer portal after being at another school versus straight through high school. But I mean, your path is unique, and I think that's why it makes your story and your situation special. So you have been at Florida for some time now. It wasn't like you just left Miami. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what was your favorite moment to be a part of with the Florida Gators so far to this point?
I would say that run we had with the SEC championship. We didn't come out victorious, but just the work we put in, and those seniors, the amount of work and team bonding we had leading up to that championship game, and probably when they threw me in the fire against the best player on the team, which is Trey Dean. He's a workhorse, so I had to go against him and compete. I took some losses, but like the second week, I got my mind right, and then pretty much me and him are going head to head. So yeah, that was the best part for me, I say.
Trey Dean, I super hopeful for him this season. He's always going to have sort of an off-season hero status for taking out those handcuffs and going through practice with them. That was something that's I think a lot of Gators.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a vibe. Definitely rooting for him extra hard. Obviously, want all the Gators to succeed, but after seeing that,
right,
sort of gives you that extra reason to root for him. So, last lightning round question. Again, these are the same questions we ask to every guest, so we get to sort of compare and contrast answers. So, what is your favorite Florida Gator jersey color combo?
I like it's a lot. I say the best pictures I have in it is the all blue with like the kind of faded blue helmet. So yeah, so I like the all blue.
Gotcha. So the blue helmet or the orange helmet?
The blue helmet.
So we haven't actually worn those yet. The blue helmet, the blue jersey, and the blue pants.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah. So we wore them. They're like kind of like faded, like a fadish blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes,
gotta
we
send
wore
you a
those
picture of the
against
ticket.
Tennessee in 20.
Yeah,
But but I'm saying we didn't wear the blue helmets with the blue jerseys and the blue pants for a game yet.
I just like all blue. I
Blue's your
like that.
color. He's wearing, well, for those of you listening, he's wearing blue right now. So we can
Yeah,
definitely see that. Do you think Napier is going to be the guy? I know he has already said we're going to come out with black jerseys. Do you think Napier
I
will be the
like that.
guy that? Sorry,
I like the black jerseys.
you do.
I
Okay.
haven't seen them, but I like the idea of it just to like spice things up, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I got you. So Lorenzo, we're not here to really harp on the past. We're
Yeah.
here to look forward, but we would be remiss if we didn't ask you two questions about the Dan Mullen era to sort of set the stage and give our listeners a starting point. So, number one, simple as simple gets, the team just did not live up to the Gator standard that Dan Mullen himself set out in 2021. It didn't look like he was having fun. It didn't look like the players were necessarily having a ton of fun throughout most of the season. And, Mullen got fired. It just wasn't a great time. So you were there. From your perspective, what went wrong? Why did things sort of roll out and happen the way they did? And just talk about how tough it was to watch that all unfold.
So once the seniors left after that good year we had, it was kind of shaky. Like he knew that he didn't have the talent, I guess, that he had before. So like, and then losing the SEC championship game, I guess that put more pressure on him and the staff or whatnot. As a team, we all came together, came to work and whatnot, but then like the energy was off, like it was just, okay, something's not right with this year. Like, I don't know what it was, but like the energy and like the way he like went about things and the off season leading up to that year, it wasn't the same as the 2020 run. So yeah, it felt different.
So what do you think went wrong in 2020? Because a lot of people can point to, well, the Marco Wilson shoe throw broke him. Losing to Alabama broke him. He didn't look the same for the Cotton Bowl. But it seemed like, obviously, throughout the course of that year, he looked like a coach who was capable of getting us to be in that position to compete for championships, like he himself said we should be doing. So what was there a moment that you think sort of changed him? Did it happen gradually? Or what exactly do you think it was that caused him to be a different sort of coach than he seemed like he was going to be throughout most of his first 2.5 years?
I couldn't tell you. Like, it was just like, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, so I can't really say. So I don't know. Like, he just showed up that year just different. I mean, he told us that we didn't have the talent that we needed to be a very good team, and that we had to work our ass off and go the extra mile if he wanted to be special and win and stuff. So I guess once the team heard that, we were like, okay, like, what is he playing for real? So then, but yeah, it was something weird like going on, and then the Missouri game, that was kind of like a pivotal point. And then the LSU game was really pivotal. And then, after that game, like, shit, you can just tell that, they were like, okay, we're done. So and then the bowl game, the bowl game was a hot mess. Yeah, it was some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, you only practiced, I think, in pads one time for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just not really the way to go. But last looking back question, and then things are going to start getting a lot more positive because Billy Napier has a new feel, a new energy toward this program. So we'll get to that a lot momentarily. But it definitely has not been all sunshine and rainbows for you personally. I mean, you talked about that. You talked about the health issue with your family. You talked about your personal health issue. So. And then, there's the fact that you were just balling out in practice. I know you had some big runs that you broke off there. You felt like you should have gotten some playing time that you didn't really get. So talk a little bit about how frustrating, how irritating, how I guess, annoying that was for you, and how you balance that versus being a team player that just wants to see the team succeed and win?
So, my mindset was if I could just keep on working, something to happen, and eventually, I did get a role in special teams. And my mindset was thinking, like, well, guys who play in the NFL, they don't have their key role that they're used to playing. So they got to make the best for it, rather it be playing special teams or playing their main position. So, I just bought in and playing special teams, and I'm thankful for it because, it made me a better player. And now I have extra tools in my belt to use it for the next level. But it was pretty stressful. Day in, day out, grinding hard, like extra hard. Like I bet you, if you could pull up the catapult numbers on the workload and just the effort I put in, it'd be totally different compared to most players. So, I mean, it's just the guy that I am. I'm gonna continue to work. So, I mean, I could have been quit. Say, gave in, I tried to switch positions at one point, play defense, but they didn't let me. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I just kept on working.
You tried to switch positions.
Yeah, I tried to play on defense somewhere.
Why was
anywhere. Like, I didn't care where. I was just because, like, I was doing good in practice. I was balling out, and then I wasn't seeing the daylight. So I was like, man, forget it. I'm not having fun. Just let me go play defense and hit somebody.
So let me get this straight. You were balling in practice. You're breaking off these big runs. You weren't playing. And obviously, that's frustrating. So you were so willing. I don't want to say desperate, but you were so itching to get out there and play in the games that you said, you know what, I'm willing to play a completely different position on defense. And I realized that you played some special teams. I know you like that, but you were willing to go out and play the completely opposite side of the ball just to contribute to the team.
Yeah. Me knowing offense, it'd be pretty, I guess, not easy for me, but like it'd be pretty fair for me to play on defense.
Damn, that's dedication right there, man. That's definitely that's the Gator standard right there.
Yeah.
I know the guy that coined that term didn't necessarily live up to it at the end, but that right there embodies the heart and soul that we want to see from our Gators. So on to the good stuff. On to Coach Napier, the new era, the new feel, the new attitude toward the program. And I guess we'll start with the stuff that maybe fans don't necessarily see or know about as much, or at least they didn't until Napier came in. It starts with the little stuff like the food, the parking. There were these little things that just weren't there for you guys. And Napier comes in, and within 9 days, 10 days or so, it's fixed. So what did that tell you about Coach Napier as sort of your first impression, and has he continued to live up to the expectations that he set by coming in and doing those things off the bat?
I would say he has. So by him getting that done, that pretty much shows that, he says that what he says he's going to do, and pretty much it shows that people have lots of respect for him. He got it done being there within a month, and I don't know why it hasn't been done years before that. It just shows, what the coaches value in their players and taking care of their players. So, I mean, he's pretty important on taking care of us with the nutrition and whatnot. I think we have 5 full-time sports nutritional specialists. So, I mean, he has, like, a lot of people in place to help us.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I mean, I hate to ask how bad was the food and how bad was the dorm situation, but I'll ask it in a positive way. How much better is it now?
It's a lot better. Like, I'll say probably 5 times better with consistency and the amount of effort the staff is putting into making sure that we're fed and that we're okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So how comfortable would you say the new living situation is versus, I mean, your situation at Miami, the situations you saw when you were looking at other campuses?
So Miami cost of living was a lot more, so we got paid more. Here we only get like 14, which is very, very little. Being that prices going up and what living situation, it's a football town. So I mean, like you're going to get small rooms and whatnot, but like the whole objective is to come here, win games, play football. Miami was kind of different because people lived in townhomes and whatnot. You got better homes over there, better apartments. So I mean, I couldn't really compare the two, but like I would say here is definitely more closer to campus. You have more of like a college town feeling.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're when you're talking about like 14, you're talking about your stipend that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah, that's that's definitely not a ton. Okay, awesome. So our co-host is actually stuck in traffic and didn't have internet, but I think he's here now. Dustin, you there?
Yes, how's it going?
What's going on?
Great, Lorenzo. Great to have you on here. As Neil has already done an amazing job doing. I want to ask you a few questions about the scheme. So, if looking at the two offenses you have, what I mean is looking back at what Dan ran with the spread and some of the read option stuff. Now you're going into what Napier in his scheme. I just wanted to ask you my first question. What is kind of the difference in your mind in how the running back is utilized from the previous offense to the current offense?
So the last half we had more wide receivers, like more guys who were able to make big plays, like Kyle Pitts and whatnot. Kadarius Toney, you had Grimes and whatnot. Those big wide receivers. Here we have a lot of wide receivers too, but you got a full stable of running backs also. So I guess now with this run game, we're going to be able to run the ball a little bit more, but it's a game of football. So like here with his staff, we got to take what we can get pretty much. Just anything that's open, it seems like is going to hit for us. Rather it be passing, rather be running the ball, rather it be Anthony running the ball. So I mean, it's a lot better than me.
In studying your tape, I really like what you do when you have the space. Your first and second cut is incredibly impressive. And one thing I noticed, not just with, unfortunately, you didn't really have the carries that I personally felt that you deserved in the previous regime, but that's the last I'm going to mention them.
Right.
I will say this. One thing I really noticed about your game, some of the tape from when you were at Miami, and also from the spring game, and some of the stuff that came out. I really think that the previous regime was running too slowly. I feel like you guys are really able to run full speed now. How do you feel that? Do you feel that's true? And do you think that?
Of course.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I was saying it starts with Coach Jalou, him being the standard for us and how we perform. So pretty much he allows us to play how we want to play. I mean, with the last staff, it was pretty much being like a robot, like, you got to do this, do that. But here with Coach Luke, he allows us to play to our full potential, and he wants us to go all out.
So what does that look like for you? I mean, what does that mean exactly that he lets you play to your full potential? Could you give us an example, like from a film session study or from practice or something like that?
You're going to get full speed every time I got the ball. So they're trying to slow me down. And that was the problem with in the past, they were saying, slow down, you're too fast. Coach Luke saying, slow down just a little bit, you probably missed this cut or that cut, but just slow down a little bit. I like how you're running hard and fast, that's what we want, but just slow down a little bit, just to be able to see the small things versus slow down, take your time, you're going too fast. Nah, I'd rather go fast and get 5 yards in than to go slow and get 3.
So you're saying that Knox and Mullen, I guess, would say, yo, you got to really slow down. You're going too fast to understand everything.
Yeah.
Jaluk is just going, let's just make sure we get the cuts right. Let's just make sure we can see what our blockers are doing and so on.
I mean,
the hole is.
Both coaches were very detailed. Coach Knox, he was a great coach on detail and whatnot, but he was just, it seemed like he was just scared of what the head man had to say on our performance. But with Coach Jaluk, he just lets us play.
Really? It seemed like Knox was scared of what Mullen would have to say about you?
About, his back's running. So, I mean, pretty much now we're allowed to just play to our.
Wow. That's I mean, look, Dan Mullen will always have a nice place in my heart because he won 2 national championships here as an offensive coordinator. But that's just not good. That's not good to hear.
I mean,
yeah.
So Lorenzo, I got one final question in kind of the scheme department. I know obviously there's a lot you can't talk about, so we respect that. But what we have seen as a fan base and the guys that really study and cover the sport, we have seen the spring game. So I did want to ask you, it's one question, but it's a two-parter. First off, I want to talk about a play during the spring game that you've since studied and you feel like you could improve on that. A play that maybe didn't go as well as you expected or maybe you made a mistake. I want you to discuss that. And then lastly, I want you to talk about a play that you felt you did really good at and really highlights your skill and how you want to show yourself in this coming season.
So probably my biggest issue probably be swing routes. I can catch good and whatnot, but like in space, when the sideline is tightened up on me, like I just want to run through a player rather than giving him a move like a head and shoulder or whatnot. But I definitely got better with splitting defenders. I'll say that's a big factor there that I'll be able to do. But it's just like, when the sideline gets tight to me, I kind of just want to cut off field and run through somebody rather than saving my body, like, giving them a head and shoulder or whatnot. Something I did good was probably the big run I had the first scrimmage. Just learning to watch the first down lineman on my reads and just getting a feel for how fast the defense is going to flow over to stop the run to where, I can cut back. That's something I did good. So, yeah. And then, like also just getting the amount of reps I got this spring, I've gotten better as a player versus me knowing that in the past, I wasn't getting the reps. So, I felt like that I was losing my potential. So now I feel like I'm like even better as a player.
That's the goal, man.
I did want to ask this real quick. I know the goal is obviously the NFL, and I think that with the right coaching staff, obviously with Jaluk and the opportunity that we have this season to really do what we should be doing as Gators, I think you got a good shot at making it to the league. Is there a player that you really study and try to emulate and you feel like you can replicate your game after an NFL player?
Not really. I've been watching I watch players to see what makes them the best in the league. So I've been watching a little bit of Marshawn Lynch just because he's a raw runner. He's a just hard-nosed runner. I've watched him a lot. I like Christian McCaffrey just because he's versatile, So, and then at the next level, that's what you want to be. So I've been watching him a lot.
Yeah, that Christian McCaffrey is a good example because that actually leads me into my scheme question because McCaffrey is definitely a guy I would say is valuable in points per reception fantasy football leagues because he can catch the ball, he can do some nice things, as a pass catcher. So you mentioned being a pass catcher, which I know is something that you can be very good at if you're given the chance to be very good at. Talk a little bit about how this new offense gives you that opportunity a little bit more, aside from that, from the fact that you're going to be playing more, which is obviously the first piece of it. But how does this offense of Billy Napier's give you more of an opportunity as a pass catcher?
Well, it starts with the wide receivers first, and the RPO, and even in empty set that we have. We're not always the first read, but I have faith in my wide receivers that they're gonna make big catches. So I hope they make big catches. But if not, we're the last check down read, and that'll give us the ball. A lot of running backs to get the ball and run, catch the ball.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you are someone I could definitely envision doing damage in the receiving game. I understand, like you just said, we have receivers, that's their primary job to do that. But I mean, at least to me, like, you can be a quarterback's best friend if say Shorter and Baby Hendo are blanketed because the defense is putting all their manpower into guarding them. Richardson might see the pocket breaking down, but there you are 2 yards down the field as a safety valve. He could just dump the ball off to you. And then, well, now you've bypassed the line of scrimmage. You don't have to like find that gap to go through. You've already cleared that part, but now you're a running back in the open field. So when have you gotten these sorts of opportunities? Are there plays designed to get you the ball as a pass catcher on a screen or on a flare or something? And assuming there are, how excited are you exactly to get to run those plays in real games?
It'd be pretty exciting just knowing that I have my big man in front of me on the screen plays. Every team runs screen plays every once in a while. So I'll be more excited for the big guys to be out there running in front of me, taking on blocks on little linebackers and DBs.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, definitely some intelligence goes into that on the coach's standpoint. They can see that the defense might want to take away Henderson and Shorter. They can see that they might want to take away a Keon Zipper or so, but they may not necessarily think of you first and foremost as a pass catcher. But again, that's where you could be very dangerous because once you catch the ball, you are a running back. I mean, anyone who catches the ball is a running back after they catch it. So except you just don't have to go through the line of scrimmage. And that's what I think we should talk about next, the role of brain power and smarts and intelligence within the game of football. I mean, I did play a little bit. Dustin did play a little bit. I have friends on the team, as I mentioned. I've seen some of the past playbooks. It's detailed stuff. Like even if you were to play football for Jacksonville State, I mean, we can't make fun of them too much because they beat FSU. But if you were to play for like a lower division school, there may still not be the level of detail that there is at the University of Florida. Primary SEC school, big time powerhouse program. There's so much detail and intricacies. There are the cadences, there are the code names. Like, for example, if the play call is to run a counter play, Napier isn't just going to yell counter on one. No, like there's a different vocabulary you guys have to know. So you have to know all of it and know it all very well. And then there's film. You have to know defense's tendencies. You have to know what the coach are talking about and all that. So I'm asking this both with regards to Napier specifically, and then overall as a football player for you, going back to high school and your days with the Miami Hurricanes. Talk a little bit about the importance of intelligence in the game of football and what it means to be a real student when it comes to the game of football.
So I would say I became a student of the game probably my sophomore year of college when I gotten hurt and like I just had more downtime just to study and watch football. But I would say out of all the systems I've been in, rather be Coach Rick, Coach Diaz, Coach Mullen, Coach Napier, I like Napier's system better. It is more difficult being that our signals are all in one, and that they're like there's no multiple signalers to give out to each position like most teams have. So it kind of forces you to pay attention more. So that's pretty much like the hard part about it, and just like having overall intelligence. So that comes with having love for the game, playing football, and just watching film. Watching lots of film, watching like just tons of film. I I've already watched film on Utah pretty much, and this past whole month, like I know all their blitzes and whatnot. They're like a heavy blitz team and whatnot. You know, first down, second down, third down. You know, kind of weird stuff going on over there, but you know, it's just having knowledge for the game is very important. But it comes down to watching film.
For sure. I have one more IQ question to ask you, but I can't let the opportunity just pass by. You're going to be facing off against one of your former teammates in that game, Mohamed Diabate. Are you excited? Or is it something you just like want to avoid him? Are you looking forward to running him over, trying to juke him out? Or how does that whole thought process play out of welcoming back a former teammate into the swamp for a huge, huge game under the lights to start the Billy Napier era?
I think I have 3 teammates, 2 from Miami and then Mahmoud, but one of them is Gervin Hall. He's a DB, and then I have Mahmoud. You know, they know how to run, so so it wouldn't be a shock for them. They know how to tackle me, just just because I run hard and whatnot. But you can't be too quick with me because you know if you flow too fast, then you know I'm just gonna cut back on you. So I would say I'm looking forward to it, whatnot. But like, you know, I'm just focused on doing what I have to do.
Gotcha. So the other intelligence question I've got to ask you is, I mean, there's so much time, there's so much effort that goes into being a game. Would you say that the game of football for you personally is more of an effort physically to get, doing weights, stadium steps, et cetera, and just the physical grind of that? Or would you say it's more of a challenge mentally for you?
So growing up, I've always been the one to like work out and exhaust myself and do all these crazy workouts. So like physically is not effective, but everything is mental. So like, I can go out there and say, oh, we're going to play against this team that's supposed to be the best team, or I can say, okay, I'm gonna go out there, give it my all, keep myself under control because the biggest opponent you have is yourself. You can get smashed in the face time, play after play, but yourself is gonna tell you, okay, I'm done, I'm giving up, you're tired, you're hurting. The player in front of you is not gonna say, oh, give up. You know what I'm saying? So it's you do all of this, your teammates, this coming together as a team and being the factor you need to overcome adversity.
That's really good, Lorenzo. I did want to follow up on that question about the process of learning. So if football is truly a mental game, then you need to be taught well. And now you have Coach Jaluk. Talk to me about Jaluk as a teacher.
So Jaluk, he told us his obscurities growing up, being that he couldn't read, as good as his classmates. So with us, he has us write everything down. We had to read over like each play 3 times and whatnot. So I mean, it's a factor of repetition. So Coach Napier's staff is big on repetition. So like just like plays alone, we'll rep out a lot of plays. We'll go over the plays a lot. We'll like have meetings of like the same walkthrough a lot. So it's just repetition.
You were talking about how you were always a grinder, how you were always the guy that pushed yourself physically, but mentally. It's a different struggle. It's a different thing altogether. Having a brain that's all with it is different than having being able to bench a number of times or run stadium steps a number of times. So you said you first became a student your sophomore year. What happened to sort of trigger that jump for you mentally as a student of the game, and how do you think that moment has sort of helped you now?
I would say during that time, I just had a lot of downtime. I was just able to really like go back and watch film on what I did, whatnot, and then I had lots of time to watch football. Just watch a lot of football. So therefore, I became more in tune with learning the game of football.
So you're talking about during the coronavirus, the pandemic, when everyone was at home?
my sophomore year at Miami, when I was hurt. For
Oh, got
rehab.
it.
Yeah. So going back to that time, during my rehab time, I was just watching football, a lot of football.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
as the games have evolved over the last 5-10 years, something that's really come to be is the RPO, the run pass option. Um, Napier is known for creating as many options as possible, whether it's with play action pass or the RPO. Um, Tell me about how you've upped your game in studying these options so that when you're actually in practice or in the game, you're mentally ready to execute the play that is called, even as the what your sight picture on the field, even as that changes. So for our listeners out there, I'm talking specifically as the defense changes, as maybe they're shifting the bubble, maybe the linebackers are moving, maybe the defensive backs are shifting. That all changes what the running backs and the skill players are seeing, and even the offensive linemen are seeing. So Lorenzo, what are you doing to kind of study, and how has this shift in evolution of the game impacted your work and how you do this?
Like I said, it just comes down to repetition. So this is our third time going over the playbook now, coming back. So I mean, it's just a matter of repetition and just knowing what you're doing. Um, uh, we walk through so much of the plays, like just have walkthroughs without footballs and whatnot. Just walk through the plays and just have a sense of feeling for what we have to do. So come time for when it's full speed, it's like it's automatic to us. So I would say this staff is a lot more hands-on with repetition and doing walkthroughs.
So I know we touched on it a little bit, but something that's super big from my perspective is the fact that you have Montrell on the team. He obviously played for the coaching staff and has a lot of that understanding because, like you said, repetition. He's been through it. He's been successful. He got almost 1,000 yards last year for Louisiana. Tell me about your relationship with him and how he's helped you from a mental standpoint in learning the game and becoming invested in this offense.
So when he first came, he was like, just up front with us. He was up front. He was sincere. He was funny. It wasn't like he had a grudge on anybody, and he was just a very bright person. And when it comes to knowing the plays, he basically helped us out as much as he could. But with Napier's system, nothing stays the same each year. So Montreal was like pretty much saying, I don't know if this play is the same because Coach Napier changes everything. Being that the coach he is, the successful coach that he is, he doesn't keep the plays the same each year, or like the nameless of the plays. So he pretty much changes up things every year. So
wait, so you just to hit on that, because that's interesting. So Napier's not just changing the plays. So you expect the plays to adjust from year to year as opponents change, as scheme changes, as the game evolves. But the naming of the plays and how you're communicating that also changes.
yeah, everything
Wow.
it's not the same.
Wow. So you're starting from ground zero every
Every year,
I guess off season.
I mean, obviously, football teams go through what's called install, where they'll get themselves back into football shape, not just in terms of physically, but in terms of the mentally, and they'll spend time learning the play, but they'll go, as you mentioned earlier, not necessarily going full speed, but they'll just sort of walk through some plays just to get to know exactly what it is they're doing, and get some repetitions, and then they go full speed from there. But that's interesting that you mentioned that it's that much of a difference. I mean, obviously, of course, the playbook is not going to be identical from year to year. At least, it's not particularly wise to do that in case someone leaves the program after 1 year and happens to remember it and can sort of pass on little details about it to potential opponents. But I am somewhat surprised that it is a complete wrecking ball that's taken to it, and you just start from absolute zero. I would have thought that it would be about 30 to 40% similar, but the fact that it's 0% similar from year to year is somewhat surprising, but also definitely good to know for the reason I just mentioned. I know that in previous regimes that was not necessarily the case, and now with the transfer portal being a bigger thing than ever, or with transferring being a bigger thing than ever now with the transfer portal, that's definitely comforting to know.
Yeah. So like even like coming back, like I don't think we have the same plays we did during the spring. Like it'll be totally different, you know, because like certain things be tweaked within the play.
So I understand we can't ask for specifics. I don't think we want everyone to know specifics because that's going to give them some ideas of what to scout. But I mean, what we saw from the spring game from you, do you think that will 85% represent what we see in the fall, 12%, 30, 50, 60? Like how closely do you think that's going to resemble what we see this fall?
Probably 50%. Like, you know, not every team shows what they do during the spring game. So, like, what we show probably is like 10% of what we have. So, and then even so, things will change. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say on that one. It's just I got to show up and be prepared to be adjustable.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're not going to ask you to give away secrets, but I mean, the point being, there's going to be more massive of a difference from spring of 22 to fall of 22 than there was, say, from like 2018 spring to 2018. I mean, you weren't there in 18, but I mean, all right, so like 21 spring to 21 fall. There's going to be more of a difference, you think, now?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
and I think we have 30 more players on the team.
That's true too.
Yeah. So like we have a lot of guys come in and get those reps in, and like that way we're fresh and just flowing through reps, just flowing through reps.
Gotcha. So we've talked about your background. We've talked about, you know, the health issue. We talked, did the lightning round. We talked about the mental, the physical. We talked about the frustrations. We talked about, what it's like to have teammates that come from Louisiana. This is more of a lightning round-esque question, but I'd like to go a little bit more in detail with this to sort of finish up our pod. We do have one more small segment to really end it with, but the last detailed question that we have for you, what you, among things you have not talked about yet with us, who really is Lorenzo Lingard? What should our fans know about you that you have not talked about yet on this show? What do you want fans to know about you, and what should we be most excited about from you specifically this season and moving forward?
I play with emotion. I play with some emotion. I play with a lot of effort, a lot of energy. You can see me encouraging my teammates the whole game. No matter how tired I am, what happens, I'm always a positive player, and you can expect me to be a key player in this season. Just, you know, you can see me on the sideline, encouraging my teammates, encouraging my coaches, you know, listening, communicating more on the sideline, asking for more feedback, because I feel like this team has a lot more communicative skills than we had before. So like you're definitely going to see us talking on the sidelines more about the games and whatnot.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that definitely makes you an easy player to love. Always staying positive. Always wanting to do better. It's easy to say last year everyone can do better because, you know, we were 6 and 7 and just wasn't acceptable. But even the vibe I'm getting from you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but the vibe I'm getting is that you're a player that if you have, 195 yards on the ground and you do great in blitz pickup, but there's one blitz pickup that you miss, you're going to be angry about it. You're going to not angry, but you're going to want to go right to the film room. You're going to be harping on that. You're going to learn, why did I miss that block? What can I do differently next time to be better? Is that exactly? I mean, is that what we're going to be getting out of you?
Yes, for sure. Like I have my coach now telling me to relax and don't get so caught up in the things right now because it's a long season. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be hard on myself, but I think my teammates will hold me accountable.
Do you think that there's more of a sense of teamness of togetherness this year than there was last year?
Yes, we have a lot more young guys on a team that just bond together with us more, and that comes from the coaching staff. The coaching staff, they're very bondful. Like, you can go up to their office and talk to them about anything, and they don't have an attitude. It's like, it hasn't been one day to where I've seen a coach just complain and have a bad attitude. Like, they're all great energy.
And you did notice that with some of the previous staff.
Oh yeah, no, previous staff, I didn't get that vibe from them.
I gotcha. Well, it sounds like we have the right foundation in place. I mean, the wins, I think, are always fair to expect out of a Florida Gator team. That's why you're here. You didn't come here to put some nice tape on, but, in a 5-7 season, you came here to win. You are a team first player. And that's something that I think Gator fans should definitely be excited about with you and with your teammates.
So obviously there's so much buzz about the new facility, the all-in-one, which is right there by the practice. I mean, talk to me about what you've seen from this facility, and do you have an expected date when y'all are going to begin to utilize it? And I'm just excited to hear your thoughts on it, because I know it's going to be a game changer for the team and for the whole athletic department.
Oh yeah, so it looks like it's pretty good from like the outside looking in. The tour we took when Coach Napier got here, it looked like it's going to be like very massive. I think there's like a little there's going to be like a big old dining hall in there. The pool, they're actually like making the pool right now, I guess, digging it up and pouring concrete and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it seemed like it's going to be very very homey for like players just to come and just feel like, they don't have to go nowhere else but be at the facility and feel comfortable being there. But as far as like date wise, probably like probably before the season, probably.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good spot for y'all to hang out during the season.
Oh yeah.
And I know y'all aren't gonna miss that walk to practice from the swamp.
Yeah, that walk.
So speaking about a walk from the stadium, walks like that do help when you're fast. Obviously, football incorporates a different kind of speed, but that brings us to our superlative segment. So I'm going to ask you
superlatives, Dustin. You always have your own special pronunciation.
Superlatives. Yes.
He made up.
I gotta learn this. Hey,
Dustin made up
Lorenzo
the word.
Said, I need repetition. I really need the repetition on this. So
Dustin
superlatives.
made up the word miss situation earlier.
Okay.
Whoa.
Miss
situation. So it's funny. He's got his own little twist on it. Go ahead, Dustin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. English wasn't my best subject, so I think Neil and we balance each other very well. Anyhow, so my first superlatives question is, who is the fastest player on the team? And if you have a verified 40 speed for this player, I would love to know that too, if you can share that.
I don't know 40 times, but I know like mile per hours. The first one I think were like Mordecai and Travis Johnson. They hit 21.7.
Wow.
Then it goes shorter, 21. 21.6. Dean 21.5. Me 21.5. Bowman's up there at 21.6 too.
Wow.
Who else? Who else is up there? Dang, what's his name? Jamarcus Weston's up there, 21.5. So yeah,
Wow.
like there's a couple players in the 21.5s, 21.7s. Henderson is his 21.6, I think. So yeah, like a lot of guys, a lot of top speed guys. But I think we're looking to break 22 during this season. Like, when things are just more amped up on us.
So Mordecai is probably the fastest.
Mordecai or either Tre'Vez Johnson.
So how far away are you from those two?
Fast.
Sorry, go ahead.
So talking about, I said trading too. He's pretty quick, but like me, so like talking about split seconds, like that's like 2-3 steps ahead. So I think I'm number like 6 on the team.
So the last time you raced Bowman, who won?
Bowman ran 21.5. So like me and him both ran 21.5. We haven't raced yet.
Oh man, I gotta know. Y'all are that close. I gotta know who wins. It might be a photo finish. It's good that y'all are.
Yeah, it might be photo
fast.
finish. Yeah.
So speaking of Bowman, that he might be the person you say for this. Maybe not. My next question: who has the best playlist on the team?
I'll say either Trey Dean. Yeah, probably Trey Dean.
What's he got on there?
He just has like a lot of Atlanta stuff. He has some Florida stuff too, but like he gets all like the new stuff. I don't know how he gets it, but he gets it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So who's the strongest player on the team?
Probably Big Dad's. Big Dad's probably the strongest.
Yeah.
Gonna be pretty hard to argue against that one.
Who's the strongest offensive lineman?
Kingsley.
Yeah, he's good.
Settle something for us real quick. Dustin and I have debated this. How do you pronounce Kingsley's last name? Because we just call him Kingsley. Is it Iguakin? Is it Iguakun?
Kingsley Iguakin.
Iguakin. Okay.
Yeah,
Iguakin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Iguakin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. We know that for the future. I've called him Iguakun, but
Iguakin.
Iguakin. Okay. Got it. Noted for the future.
As we attempt to pronounce Kingsley's last name and make a fool of ourselves, who's the funniest player on the team?
Probably Naquan. Naquan's funniest.
Naquan. So, like, tell me about his humor. Like, does he just say
it's
funny
just raw? It's raw and natural, but like stuff he points out, like you wouldn't think about it. It's just it's kind of weird, but it's like the stuff he points out is just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and you would know. I mean, y'all are in position meetings and all that, so y'all get to experience it. So, my last question from our superlatives segment is: who's a player that you most look up to and admire on the team?
Right now, I've seen Kingsley grow from being a player that had doubts and whatnot to where he is now, and then like the leader that he's becoming. I like Kingsley right now.
That's awesome.
Would you say who would you say is someone in the running back room specifically that you look up? Because Naquan's been there for longer. Bowman is also, like you, a freak of nature physically. Montreal Johnson comes from Louisiana, so you have that aspect where he's been there and played for Napier before. Would you say that, or how would you say that the running back room gets along together, and do you guys lean on each other for stuff?
Oh yeah, so I say Naquan is the most. He has the most experience, but he's like, shoot, he can coach a game. I kid you not, Naquan can coach a game. You can give him a clipboard and he would definitely coach the game and make some things happen. So like his knowledge for the game and his understanding is crazy. Like he can break stuff down and like catch on pretty quick. But like as together, we're great. We're all fun. We all get along together, crack jokes. We all compete also. We all coach each other up.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome to know that you guys have that relationship with each other, that camaraderie with each other. So, I mean, the last thing, we usually end our pods with Dustin yelling "Go Gators" extremely loudly. That's just his thing,
Okay.
to sort of get us all in the mood for Gator football. But we've got you on. We're not going to ask you to scream "Go Gators" and make a fool of yourself like Dustin does, but we are going to ask you to give Gator Nation, I guess, one last message of support, I guess, and one last reason to really be extra loud and extra vocal and extra supportive this upcoming season, because, new era, new tenure, new energy, and all that. So, what would you say your lasting message is that you want Gator Nation to have?
I want them to support this year like they never supported before, because we have a great class that just came in. Those guys are bought in. Those guys are going to be the future. The seniors that we have now, we can only do so much, but those guys look up to us, and we have the staff to lead us in the right way, to lead those guys off, to make the future of Florida. And to just be extra loud this year. Come support every game that you can. Turn your TV on. Good or bad, just emulate the coaching style pretty much. Just be on point as if you were a player for us. And plenty of fans want to be players. And I hope fans show up and wanting to be in the game and whatnot. But I would say try to be on the field with us more. Just have our back.
In all kinds of weather, as is the name of our brand. Right. I mean, it gets difficult, obviously, when stuff like last year happens. But I think that there's definitely a level of respect that I think every fan should have, because the reality is we couldn't do what you do. You're in a situation that I think a lot of us, from the time we were young kids, wish we could do. But you guys are the special ones. You guys are the elite ones who have that offer to come play for the University of Florida. And then once you get that offer and get into that roster, you then work your way up that depth chart and into the position where you get to play. So, I mean, Lorenzo, it's been nothing short of a joy and a thrill to have you on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Gator Collective for helping set this up. The Gator Collective, definitely something that if you are not already a part of, you should definitely look into. Go to gatorcollective.com to learn more about how to join and help provide student athletes with NIL deals. Lorenzo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can we get a? I'm gonna get a nice little picture. Can we get a nice chomp?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We will see you in the swamp this year. We will get loud for you. We will definitely support you. We will make sure that everyone is on their feet and yelling in support of you. You're a smart guy. You're a hardworking guy. I mean, we have, after having talked to you for over an hour, have all the trust in you that one could possibly have in a Gator football player. We know you're going to do everything you can to make the Gators the best they can possibly be, and we look forward to seeing the result of you doing everything that you can possibly do to make the Gators the best they can possibly be. Thank you so much, Lorenzo, and best of luck, man.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.